So it's kind of like a yes and a no. If you're already starting into business, you will know some of this inherently. Who walks through your doors? If you're starting into business, that's the good market research that you need to do to demonstrate your sales. When you're going for financing, you don't really say, well, everyone's going to buy from me, and I'll probably make about this much. The bank won't take that as, a firm business plan. So you want to break it down into, these are my type of clients that will purchase from me. This is an average purchase amount. This is how many times they purchase in a year, to build into my sales figures. And that's kind of the process of business planning, and marketing is just a small piece of that. So it's kind of a yes-no answer. You have to make some good guesstimates, and you're really the person to do it, not me as a consultant, you as the business owner, but we can help you along the way, absolutely, and that's what we're here for. I do tend to go on and on, so I'm going to cut it short, and we'll get back to the presentation, and for sure, just pop me an email. You'll have my email address, and pop me an email with your questions after, if I haven't supplied enough information to you. Okay, so for our easy example, we've kind of taken a look at client profiling in its really simplistic form. Now we're going to move on to, how do we know how many of those people or those businesses are within our market area of our target market? Well, you look at community stats or business stats. And the important thing to do is to rely on what's already out there for your statistics. And, StatsCan does a great job. I just got notice in the mail about completing my census, and they compile the census data into community profiles. I'm just going to show you where to find them on the internet, and then as well, you'll have that website when we stop here at the end of the session. So the website is actually called Community Profiles. Does everybody see that come up on the screen? I'm going to take your silence as a yes. This is the Community Profiles website. And in order for us to find that information about how many people actually are within our target market of, we said in the last example of the hair salon that we thought women between the ages of 55 and 74 would be a really good bet as being one of our primary target markets. We can find out how many people are actually within our target market in that age group, and it's just done by doing a little quick lookup. I would type in, let's say, Estevan, Saskatchewan as my example on this community profile website, and it would bring up some stats for me. Again, Business Info Source can do even a more customized lookup for you, where they can take a mapped area, let's say Estevan and a certain radius around Estevan, or Regina and a certain radius around Regina, and they can actually pull through the client stats based on that larger region, rather than going through and just finding information on Estevan and then having to go back and say, oh, and I also meant the RM of Estevan. Oh, and I also meant, an RM surrounding that area. So once this loads up, we can find out some information about how many people live in Estevan within our targeted market that we already identified as women between 55 and 74. So this, again, 2006, the new numbers will be coming out soon. But for instance, age characteristics for Estevan, I can scoot down on the left-hand side and see 55 to 59 and then onwards up from there, and I can actually see they break down male versus female population. This website also provides a lot of other characteristic data, whether it's about how do they live, apartments versus houses, how many people live in their homes, other things about their income level, how many kids live within that home, etc. This is all StatsCan information, and it's all at no charge. It's available online, and again, that website address will be offered at the end of the session. Amazing stuff, I think, anyway. So we'll get back to our presentation here. I plugged in where I had just kind of indicated last spreadsheet that my primary markets were certain age categories. Now I've actually looked up online and found how many people were women between the ages of 55 to 74 and men between 75 and 84. And I found out how many people in total in my really simplistic example of hair salon in Estevan are in my total market. I have about 1,000 people who I could, in my really simplistic example, who could come to purchase from me. And that's a lot better information than saying, well, everybody is my market and I'm just going to target everybody. And, you can do that for hair colors and hair care products as well. Okay, now that we know how many people are within our market area, we know who we think are our customers, let's see how much they are actually going to be purchasing in specific products and services within our region. And again, another great feature from working with Business Info Source, you can get some household expenditure data, all for free again. They can supply it to you. And it's called the P Census, or spending on specific products and services, household expenditures, in your certain market area. So I, again, just went and phoned Business Info Source. They have a great website, which I will list at the end of the session. It's just canadabusiness.ca. You can get either the Saskatoon or the Regina contact information and phone them up and say, hey, I'd like to get some household expenditure information for my business plan, and they'd be more than happy to help you out. When I did that and called Business Info Source, I found out that they actually were able to supply me with some dollar figures of spending per year. So women haircuts, I would take a look at my two groups that would buy from me, those two age cohorts, and how much they spend per day. I got that from Business Info Source, to see the total market that's available on haircuts for women in Estevan. So about $200,000 is available as women haircut dollars in Estevan only. Men's haircut, there were 260 men that lived in Estevan. They spent about $105 a year, and there's about $27,000. So this is our potential market. This is the market that's out there, and then we have to do a lot of other thinking, just like if we were doing some thinking about, we are a business-to-business type of an organization. You'd have to think about, okay, the total market might be millions of dollars, but hey, I have competition. How much of that market am I able to actually capture? What percentage of the market will your business capture? So you need to take a look at the industry, your competition, the trends for the product or service. You're in a great position as a business owner to analyze this. This is your baby. So in my example, I said, that total market of almost 200,000, I'm breaking in, I can get 20% because I know that, two other hairstylists have retired recently. So I think there's some room for me to capture some of the market. 196,850 times 20% is what I think I'm going to capture, gives me a sales figure. Men's haircuts, I do the same, and I would bundle it into a sales figure. So this is helping you not only think about who are your target markets, how much do they spend per year, and then how much of that total expenditure can I actually capture in my business, or I'm planning to capture my business. So instead of saying everyone is my customer and everyone will spend a lot of money and I'm hoping that I'm going to make a go of this business, you can actually, with your best guesstimates, make some good projections for your sales figures. To attain those, it will be up to you to do that with your marketing, which we'll see in the next little while.